Starting from the streets of North Los Santos, now known as Zone 4 in the Los Santos policing districts. Home of Forever Cutthroat. A neighborhood gang and affiliate set of the Hottfamily/Hottkrew gang. Home of Switchy Gang. Another set of the dark side gangster Crips. Home of 9 Gang. A GD set based in 900Bloxk. Home of 1100 Tully Gang. A set of the OG Temple Drive Ballas. And most importantly, home of 1500 Bread Gang. Or STG. A set of the V-Line Bloods. When you think of 1500Bloxk today, it's like you see a dark cloud over the 15 because they lost a lot of major factors and beloved homies. Like Lil Rub, Cash, Baby 50, and most importantly STG No Face. But today we speaking on a true soldier and real survivor on the streets and behind the wall. We speaking on none other than STG Lil Tip or Thum from 1500Bloxk. His story starts on the gentrified deceitful streets of Temple Drive. Later renamed Spanish Avenue. Lil Tip aka Thum growing up in the 900Bloxk 1500Bloxk area saw a lot but nothing major. You had your drug dealing, occasional gangbanging, fights and robberies, but no murders really due to the cool nature of the north side. The original members of STG, Stack That Guap or Stand 10 gang like Cash, No Face, and Rub started STG in school to protect all the future 1500 members from the Crips and Ballers alike who picked on or jumped them at any point of confrontation. Members like DI, TJ, and Thum joined STG because 1500 finally had their own name, gang and line of protection/brotherhood from their part of the hood surrounded by the 600 Mafia, later known as Northside Mafia, and Switchy Gang DSCs, earlier known as the 1000Bloxk Vinewood Neighborhood Crips before they converted to DSC. DSC is short for the Darkside Gangster Crips. DSC is set under the tray of the 8 Tray Gangsters and other gangster Crips in LA and the greater South California area. The only other GC sets were the Chamberlain Gangster Crips and Shottaville Gangster Crips under the umbrella of the Southside Gangster Crips before Shottaville's eventual beef and split from the Chamberlain and Southside Gangster Crips as a whole. But back into the story, STG started as a hood clique known for car break-ins, car theft, fighting and breaking and entering, but once they entered the drug trade everything changed. The drug trade in the 1500Bloxk area started with weed, then advanced. When Sniper entered the picture he gave them so much product they could undercut the Crips, Northside Mafia, and all other gangs on the north side. That's the first way these young 13 to 17-year-olds gained notoriety on the north side. The 15 to 24-year-old 1000Bloxk Crips didn't take too kindly to this and were the first to strike. One day circa 2022 at North Los Santos High School, later remodeled and named J. Norris High School in Northwest Los Santos, beloved STG member Cash or Kashmir Johnson got into a fight with a 1000Bloxk Crip Baby Johnny over a female. Hottfamily members jumped in due to 1500Bloxk being the newest extension of Hottfamily. Long story short, it wasn't fun for Buddy from 1000Bloxk, he told his gang. And it was up from there. One day on the 1041 block of Spanish Avenue, Thum and other STG members were standing on the block serving, when out of nowhere 1000Bloxk pulled up in a scat pack, hopped out in the middle of the street and instantly ran up on the 1500Bloxk members, and fists were flying. 1000Bloxk, being the older gang, eventually overpowered the 1500Bloxk members, took all their weed pills and lean for undercutting them and most of all jumping one of theirs, but they didn't understand. At this point going against STG was a stand against Hottfamily. This should have been obvious due to STG leader and founder Lil Jake aka No Face being Sniper's blood cousin. You would think this is obvious, but at this point STG had never been in any drama, so who was really to know? DI and Lil Rub called Sniper and the rest was history. Sniper being a V-Line blood from the south. He already had his share of beef in oppositional situations in unknown areas, so this wasn't anything strange or scary to him, especially with them being Crips. So the next day after the strong-arm robbery of the young 1500Bloxk members, he slid back dolo to get the product back, but things didn't go as planned. He tried to rob them, but they were unexpectedly prepared. 10-1 Sniper was outgunned, but they wouldn't shoot. Sniper saw this as a weakness. So as a soldier does, he played possum and relayed the message back to the young 1500Bloxk members and gave them their first guns too. they drove back down the street to 1000Bloxk, and that's when everything changed. Sniper came through the breezeway in 1000Bloxk as he sent the young STG members through the front driveway on standby for him to pop off the shooting, as he does. He shoots 3 1000Bloxk members in the head consecutively as Thum just runs in as the shots fly as sees them drop as Sniper kept shooting. The STG members followed up with bullets until 1000Bloxk started shooting back, but Sniper was already halfway to the car after the 3 1000Bloxk members took those fatal shots to the head. They all raced out of there as their car was shot up, springing the gunfire into traffic. But luckily Thum, Sniper, and the STG members made it out untouched, but this war was far from over. Thum, real name Antonio Greer, and Lil Rub, real name Ruben Thomas, were the appointed to the leaders of STG, while No Face was in San Fierro with relative spring break and took most of the product Sniper gave them with him, some to sell, some to keep safe, so when he got back he could see who sold the most, who wasted the most, to see who he would trust from now on, but giving their naive reckless selling methods. One being having a lot on them in case bought out, they were robbed kinda, so this wasn't going to work, hence everything that just happened, so when No Face got back it was mayhem. No Face, real name Jake Williams, leader of STG and baby cousin of Sniper McTravius Williams, so everything Sniper did was for the protection of his little cousin, because from the beginning he knew how far the situation could go anyways. Let's get back into it. Hitting KC and TJ immediately. All the 1500 members ran to the back of the apartments, being chased by Nunu and the 1000Bloxk Crips. From this day forward Sniper and Hottfamily knew 1000Bloxk wasn't gonna take this shit laying down. This a war. Sniper was on a movie date with his future fiancée Kelani James, unbeknownst to Sniper, the daughter of Franco James, founder of the Black Mob of Blaine County and James Family Cartel of Los Santos. So he then realized taking her on a date in his op hood to flex was not a good idea. As Sniper and Kelani left the Vinewood movie theater at about 2 p.m. they were seen inside by some 1000Bloxk Crips, and it was on. Unbeknownst to Sniper and Kelani, they were being watched from the time they got in the door till the time they movie cut off till the time they got in the car. Of course by this time they had somebody waiting on them to leave. Sniper, coming down Vinewood Boulevard turning into Spanish Avenue, stopped at a stoplight and shots rang out. Barely missing his head and Kelani's face, he speeds off and spins out as the car is being shot up and drives away out of shock. It is rumored this is the last time Sniper dropped his guard. After this No Face and Thum started kicking with Sniper and the Hottfamily homies harder to stay out the way and make more money, but they had to hit back for their homies. Sniper took them to get a hotbox and history was made. No Face and Thum took an Isai out of a parking garage in downtown LS. And the Dracos and Glocks Sniper gave them went to work. They went to the Vinewood Square apartments with one mission in mind: kill, drill and destroy, and that meant anything or anybody to do with 1000Bloxk. And that's what they did. They pulled up in the hotbox and hopped out with nothing but shots. With goals to terrorize, they shot at all windows and homes in 1000Bloxk with no regard for the families in the hood. One innocent 36-year-old man was hit by gunfire but healed from his injuries quickly. This message let 1000Bloxk know: you fuck with us, we fuck with you. And this is what it was from this day forth. One of those 3 Crips killed from 1000Bloxk being 29-year-old Jonathan Young, leader of the 1000Bloxk Crips, a set of the Carson neighborhood Crips at the time. They had changed the name of their gang to Johnny Gang in the meantime, a clique of people from 1000Bloxk and Crips as well. Nunu creeped through the front 1563 building of 1500Bloxk one day with 1000 members looking for members to catch his first hat, and he got lucky. Kashmir Johnson, or just Cash to the rest of 1500Bloxk, wasn't really hip to the war and seriousness of the situation. So he was outside like nothing was wrong. But 1000Bloxk was lurking unbeknownst to Cash. So a couple more feet further and Nunu had sight of Cash. Nunu creeped up and execution-style shot Cash in the back of the head, Cash immediately falling over the railing/balcony. Falling into the back alley connecting the parking garage on 1500, they then immediately stood over him following his fall, even though the first shot killed him instantly. Nunu, real name Deontay Young. Became the next in line for leadership but was too frontline to be a leader, so they were all over the place until the creation of Switchagang, the gang that took control of the towers after Johnny. They were a mix of Carson neighborhood Crips and the 1000Bloxk Crips. Sniper and Quan from Shottaville shot it out with Nunu and the rest of the brothers from the towers immediately after Cash was killed. All of them were hit, even Nunu, but no one died. Quan and Sniper surprisingly left unscathed, but his white Durango was fried. After the war starting on Spanish Avenue. Northside Mafia. A set of the Rancho Park Los Santos Vagos. Being the biggest gang in the drug trade on the north side, supplying all gangs except STG. Northside Mafia didn't like the fact that 1500Bloxk had been starting drama and bringing police presence around the hood, so this led them to an alliance on with DPMG, at the time now known as the OGs, OGDSC, or S4J, and the Chamberlain gangster families to get rid of their Hottfamily and 1500Bloxk problem. Given their pre-existence in the drug trade on Spanish Avenue, they already had connections to gangs like the Roland Heights Ballers and the 1000Bloxk Crips. This led them to jump into the war silently but deadly. The first death of this war started with Lil Rub, 1500Bloxk general and overall frontline member at the time. They caught him lacking in the same back alley and spot as Cash, and he rest is history. Thum was with him as well and seen it happen. GG from DPMG slid to the 1564 side of the apartments looking and found action. He boldly walked down as he gunned down Lil Rub, as he went to stand over him. Thum ran down the steps and immediately shot him in the shoulder. Completely in shock, Thum realizes what's going on and ducks back to cover as GG runs away. Noticing this, Thum chases after him. Bullet after bullet. Thum missing a majority of his shots and GG having a bulletproof vest led to GG getting away, car shot up and all. After this, Thum kicked with the Hottfamily tighter than ever. Thum and Lil Rub being the main ones besides DI to be on that drill that killed those 3 Crips. They told the younger bros to stay out the way, giving what they had just done, telling them to do things like stay off live, keep a mask on, keep a gun on you, stay on point, things like that. They didn't understand that at the time. 1000Bloxk only being in Vinewood Square apartments at the time before the move to the towers and the creation of Switchagang, they went by the name of MOE. Money over everything. They were stalking the young 1500 STG members on the block and mostly on Instagram, so this heads up was imperative to their survival, but a lot of these YNs from 1500 neglected to listen. Sniper pulled up to 1500 one day with Pakistan from Shottaville. Sniper wanted to, but Pakistan reluctantly gave Thum and everybody outside a Draco 5.56, or 7.62 along with a new pistol due to Turk and his gun connections.